Today let's discuss the task dependencies and how you can customize the workflow within Taza systems. Workflow and dependencies can be applied to many different real estate business models. Rentals and income properties, rehab projects tracking all of your invoices and expenses, overall asset management if you have portfolios of properties that you're managing for banks or investment companies. You can track all of your baseline expenses and accounting, as well as manage the tasking process for your agents and vendors, taking them through rental, disposition, rehab, you name it, full asset management capabilities and custom task plans. Property management, vendor management, NPLs, NPNs. Short sales, loan servicing, commercial real estate, retail real estate, REOs, compliance, procedures, and policies can be customized and incorporated within the system, and other unique real estate business models. Really, these task flows and business models can be customized in the system by our end users using the very simple user interface. Let's look at a couple custom workflows. Here's a sample for REO. These processes automatically assign to employees, vendors, and agents. So keep in mind you're going to see different boxes and events happening here. And what you're able to do is configure who receives these tasks, these email alerts, these recurring events, and you set up and configure it to match exactly what your business model is. So we have a new REO. We need to verify the occupancy, and we find the property is occupied. From that point, we're going to simultaneously go down two pathways. We're going to schedule the eviction, and we're going to go and see if we can do cash for keys. If cash for keys is a yes, then we're going to cancel the eviction process, and we're going to simultaneously see if cash for keys are no, then we're going to go ahead and confirm eviction. Either way, we're going to end up with a vacant asset. Now that we have a vacant property and all of these steps to get us to that level are automated and assigned to the people that need to perform them, you receive the documentation, the due dates, the completed dates, the pictures, and so forth of these sub-steps, we end up with a vacant property. I'll go into the details here in a moment, but let's look at the just custom workflows that we can design or that you can design for yourself and your company. Now we have a vacant property. We're going to continue down a couple pathways. We're going to start engaging vendors. I want the vendors to secure the property, give me pictures of before and after of what they have fixed, and then I want them to submit any invoices or bids that are necessary. At the same time, I want to assign the broker. I want to go through the listing agreement processes. I want to prepare for marketing and online offers. All of this is happening automatically. The system's generating these tasks and giving them to the parties that it need to happen or need to complete them. And I can get my property to the point of listed or ready and on the market as fast as possible and as hands-free as possible. Let's look at another workflow. We're going to look at rental. Again, all of these processes are automatically assigned to employees, vendors, and agents. Again, we're going to check the occupancy. We're going to schedule some eviction if necessary, or we're going to go to cash for keys, or perhaps we're going to go ahead and confirm that the property is vacant. And if the property is vacant, then you can start immediately incorporating your vendors. What's the condition, the rental condition of the asset? Let's go ahead and clean it and do any repairs necessary. At the same time, I'm going to give it to the property management company. Maybe you are the property management company. So at that point, you're going to go ahead and start working on or reviewing tenant lease applications. And while you're simultaneously doing all of these events and the system's tracking when they're completed and what's going to happen next, the end goal is to get the property rented as quickly as possible. And of course, track every milestone in between and who did those milestones and capture all the photos, documents, things of that nature as you're moving through them. You can make the task plans or your processes as simple or as complex as you would like. What I'm going to show you is on the left-hand side is what the interface is like inside of the software. On the right-hand side is a flow chart that we're going to create together and review. So the flowchart's building on the right-hand side. And you'll see that we're moving a property through the listed phase. We're negotiating offers. We're accepting an offer. We have a property that's under contract. And eventually we're going to end up with the home that's sold. Well, let's go ahead and go back one and finish reviewing. So we have a property that's sold. And on the left-hand side, the flow chart on the right matches the flow chart on the left. We have a property that's closed, and you'll see that we want to shut down recurring maintenance and utilities. Okay? And as you move through these different milestones, these tasks are going to be automatically assigned, or these tasks can be set to recur over and over again. We have a monthly inspection that's going to happen again and again and again. But it's very easy to take what you have on a flow chart, or what you have on paper, or what your process is, and then build it into the system. We'll cover that in a moment. Who can be assigned tasks? Vendors, or anyone that's outside of your office, from escrow to title to maintenance, inspectors, insurance companies, contractors. You get the idea. You can assign assets to agents and brokers. Assigning an asset to an agent or broker allows for kind of a data sync or an exchange between you, the asset management company, and the listing agents and brokers, where documents flow between the two of you, tasks flow, and data is pushed back and forth between your two sides. And of course, you can also assign tasks to employees. Manage your internal processes, make sure that you're compliant, make sure that it's all auditable, and you have every step recorded automatically inside the system. Down below is a sample task detail screen where you can set the ownership. You can trigger upon completion certain items. You can have a vendor automatically associated with this task, send email notifications, automatically assign to the broker. Include property information such as lockbox, gate code, include offer info, client info. I mean, these screens are very configurable where you can include as much information as you would like and to present to that person that you want to have complete the task on the other side. Now let's look at configuring task dependencies. So task dependencies allow you to auto-assign to agents and vendors and employees. Set the recurring tasks. Configure task dependencies based upon task results and outcomes. You can mass assign tasks based on milestones. You can define your own milestones and processes. Some companies only do 2 particular milestones. All we do for a home is we rehab it and we rent it. Well, then those are going to be your 2 milestones. Other companies have 15 milestones. They might be purchasing homes, rehabbing homes, renting homes, getting homes ready to sell, moving them through the offer process, escrow process, short sale process. So it really depends on your company how many milestones you're going to have. You can have a boundless amount of task plans and custom workflows. Here we're reviewing is a sample trigger screen where you're able to set up the dependencies for these tasks. What we're going to do is ask the person that we're giving a task to, is the property occupied? That's the question here. And down below, depending on the result from the agent or vendor, the vendor is going to say, yes, the property is owner occupied and they're friendly. And they're going to accept cash for keys. So we're going to go ahead and fire off the cash for keys task automatically when that response is given. Well, let's say the vendor or agent comes back and reads the question, is property occupied? And then selects the answer of, no, the property is vacant. Well, then the property is going to automatically move into the status of pre-listing vacant and fire off all the tasks underneath of pre-listed vacant, such as turn on the utilities, get the listing agreement executed, get your BPO done. All those little sub items are going to be automatically fired off based upon the results of this question. Where do these questions come from? You type the question. Well, what defines these trigger names or the responses to the question? The answers. You type them in. You add as many different results as you would like by adding a new trigger name and clicking insert. And then you say what task you want it to fire and what status you want it to fire next. Using these tools opens the doors to automating all of your processes. Here's another sample workflow. We're going to dissect a single task and all the events that I can have happen related on questions and answers or triggers inside of that task. Is the property occupied? If the property is owner occupied and friendly, then we can go ahead and go down the cash for keys date and then confirm the property is vacant, and then automatically move the asset into the ready for pre-listing processes status and fire off all the tasks underneath of it. If they're owner occupied not friendly, then we're going to move to eviction, and then once eviction tasks are completed, we're going to move the property to pre-listed. If the property is vacant, we're going to confirm its vacancy and then move it to pre-listed vacant. And if the property is rented, we're going to move the property to the status of rented and then start tracking the monthly income leases until the lease is expired, and then perhaps it's going to end up vacant and in the pre-listing vacant processes. Just an example of how you can configure one task, which is the property occupied, to decide so many different outcomes for you. Let's go to the next one. Here's what the sample task interface looks like. Let's go ahead and let the system take us through. We're going to look at a task plan. We open up the screen and we see a list of different workflows. You can have as many workflows or task plans as you would like. I have one for land, I have one for winter, summer, and a condensed plan. Now we're looking at all the events that are going to happen when a property moves to in escrow. I'm going to delete an event. Simply right-click delete, and I'm going to add a new custom task or event. Add your new task name and press submit, and you start building out your task plan and workflow engine. If you want to edit your plan, you simply right-click edit plan, and you go in and you start building those triggers and the task automation into the platform. Once your tasks are live within the system, it makes it very easy for you to go and view what's happening from the interface on your active tasks in your entire portfolio. Different tabs allow you to track what's coming back from the broker. You can rate them, you can approve certain expense requests, and the same goes for vendors. And there's tons of automation throughout the platform as far as approval processes. You can also incorporate your clients to be able to approve certain items within the platform. And then there's journals for tasks that tell you every single step that's taken for a particular task. Who did what and when within this task, and it's automatically logged in the platform. All tasks also have the ability to have links for document upload and download, but I wanted to give you an example of what a sample task dashboard looks like once you have your workflow automated within the system. Okay. If you have additional questions on task dependencies or our tasking engine in general, please contact us at tazasystems.com or give us a call at our phone number here. Or you can also email success@tazacorp.com. Thank you for watching.